afternoon. I'm Shawn Yao, and this is One News Now. Retired Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio has responded to President Duterte's retort after the chief executive blamed him for the continued presence of Chinese vessels in the West Philippine Sea. In a statement, Carpio said it was him who recommended to bring China to an UNCLOS tribunal to challenge the validity of Beijing's 9-dash line. He added that President Duterte unfortunately set aside the arbitral award in exchange for loans and investments from China. Carpio said that Filipinos deserve a president who loves Filipinos first and who will uncompromisingly defend the country's sovereignty. The COVID-19 situation in Metro Manila continues to overwhelm many of the hospitals. Some facilities are now increasing their bed capacities by using those intended for non-COVID patients. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro gives us a front seat to the story.
To solve the shortage of beds, the health department ordered hospitals to increase the percentage of beds allotted for COVID patients. But that may have bred other problems.
We don't just cater kasi to COVID patients. No? We do have other patients as well.
The Department of Health required all public hospitals to increase COVID capacity from 30% to 50%. For private hospitals, COVID bed allotment went up from 20% to 30%. The decision improved the numbers, but it also caught hospital administrators by surprise. In simple terms, the number of actual hospital beds has not really increased, only the number of beds devoted to COVID-19.
Hindi naman kami pwedeng basta-basta nag-increase. So where we do get that, you pull them out from the regular patients. Yun yung nagiging dilemma. No, sa not only in the hospital na Maynila, but for the other hospitals as well.
Hindi natin pwedeng kalimutan yung mga non-COVID cases natin because nandiyan sila, may sakit talaga sila, and they have to be attended as well.
More importantly, this also increases the need for more healthcare workers. In Ospital ng Maynila, non-COVID surgeries have been scaled down. Elective surgeries such as gallbladder, prostate, mastectomies, and the like are postponed indefinitely, though emergency elective cases such as cancer surgeries, labor, and trauma are still performed. They even use their surgery ward as a COVID ward.
Yung mga elective cases na pwede mong i-postpone, pinopostpone na namin. Kasi nga, we had to pull out staffing from the OR in order to cope with the needs of the COVID wards.
Ospital ng Maynila needs at least 100 additional healthcare workers to meet the new demand. Ideally, one nurse should cater to 2 patients. But with a lack of manpower in Ospital ng Maynila, one nurse is in charge of at least 8 patients. DOH has pulled 200 nurses from outlying provinces to help the Greater Manila area, but Hospital ng Maynila has not received any of them, while the Philippine Heart Center has received a few, but the numbers are far from enough.
Remember, mas malaki yung population ng non-COVID that has to be attended compared to the COVID.
Dr. Limpin says there are a lot more non-COVID patients than COVID patients, and hospitals need to take care of people, whether they have COVID or not. I'm Jacob Lazaro in BR1 News.
We'll have more stories after this quick break. Keep it here. are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Maynilad has assured its customers of enough water supply for the remainder of the dry season. Shyla Francisco joins us over the line for more details. Hi, Shyla. What prompted Maynilad to issue this notice? Are we having water problems, or are we about to have water problems?
Sean, Manila's customers should expect a more stable water supply moving forward after the Metropolitan Water Works and Sewage System increased the company's water allocation. This comes after some consumers experienced water interruptions last week due to high demand. The West Zone concessionaire says daytime demand has increased by up to 30 million liters per day, with more consumers at home due to stricter quarantine measures. With this, MWSS granted Maynilad an additional 30 million liters per day supply on top of the regular allocation from Angat Dam releases. For context, Maynilad gets 60% of the allocation from Angat Dam, while Manila Water gets the remaining 40%. With Maynilad getting more supply than usual, Manila Water was instructed to augment its share in La Mesa Dam. The scheme was implemented last Monday with Maynilad saying that water pressure went back to normal as of yesterday. Meanwhile, some customers in the south are experiencing water interruptions due to turbidity issues from Laguna Lake entering the Butatan water treatment plant. But Maynilad said supplies will be back to normal this week or the next. Sean, the MWSS has also asked Maynilad to maximize other sources of water supply in Cavite using the mobile water treatment plant. Sean?
Thank you for that update. Stay safe out there. Shyla Francisco joining us live over the phone. And members of the government's COVID-19 task force are set to meet today to decide which businesses will be allowed to reopen under the extended MECQ status. For the details, we have Marcel Halili joining us live from Mandaluyong City. Hi, Mase. First off, is this MECQ hybrid? Was it the same as the one that was recommended by the NCR mayors, given, of course, this plan that we are hearing to allow more businesses to open?
Hi, Sean. If we base it on the concept of a hybrid MECQ as discussed by the Metro Manila mayors, we can say that we're actually following the concept of a hybrid MECQ. Although presidential spokesperson Harry Roque mentioned earlier that the president doesn't want to use another term. So he chose to use modified enhanced community quarantine. Still, in NCR Plus and other areas that have high cases of COVID-19. But just like the concept of a hybrid MECQ, there will still be a strict implementation of borders, monitoring of borders and checkpoints. But they will open more businesses, particularly in Metro Manila. And just like what you've mentioned, this afternoon, the members of the IATF, or the Interagency Task Force, will be having a meeting to discuss which businesses they will allow to open.
Okay, so apart from more businesses allowing to open and shorter curfew hours, so businesses allowed to be open longer, are there any other differences that we should be aware of between this MECQ and the previous versions of it?
Sean, basically, it's still the same. The concept of MECQ that has been implemented over the past weeks, it will still be the same, aside from the fact that, of course, there will be additional businesses that will be open depending on the approval of the IATF, depending on the result of their meeting this afternoon.
All right, did the palace have anything to say about key officials slamming China for asking us to stop our activities in the West Philippine Sea?
We asked that during the press briefing of Secretary Roque earlier this afternoon, and he said that the president has already spoken during his talk to the people last night. President Duterte mentioned that he will not compromise in any way the sovereignty of the Philippines. It means that he will not give any directive to our Coast Guard to leave their post because he doesn't want to experience what the previous administration has experienced, wherein it seems that for President Duterte, they gave up a part of our territory when they asked our assets to pull out of the disputed area during the standoff between the Philippines and China in Scarborough Shoal. So he mentioned that although he recognizes that the relationship of the Philippines and China during his administration is pretty smooth, and we consider China as friend. He cannot compromise our position on the disputed territory.
All right, thank you so much for that update. Reporting live from Mandaluyong City, that was News 5's Maricel Hadidi. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Shawn Yao. We are One News.